So on this beautiful day, we're here in Waterloo Park, and we're going to look at a variety of different depth cues in the park. First, specifically, let's look at depth perception and what are depth cues. Depth cues are simply just easy and efficient ways that we can perceive depth. Depth cues can be done using two ways. We have monocular and binocular cues. Monocular uses one eye and binocular uses two. To explain this better, let's use some real-life examples. So here we have three trees. The one up close to us beside us looks as if it's bigger. When we look at it from this angle, we see the trees are exactly identical. But because something is so up close to us, it takes up more visual field and is perceived as larger.
Since I happen to be filming this on the day of the solar eclipse, let's talk a little bit about it. Obviously the moon and the sun are not the same size, but because the moon is so much closer to us than the sun, we perceive them to be the same size.
So our next depth cue is called linear perspective, and we're going to use these railroad tracks to display this. This says that when we have two parallel lines that look like they're moving in the same direction, we perceive them as converging. That was close. So up close we see the pavement is very detailed and it has these little lines separating each block. But as we move further down the path, we start to see a less detailed version and it almost starts to blend together. This is because it's farther away. That's just because it's farther away. Next we have another monocular cue called interposition, which says that when one object is blocking another, the one that's being blocked is farther away and the one that's blocking the other object is up close. So next we have a depth cue called shadowing, and this is actually a monocular cue because we only use one of our eyes to do so. And this has lots of benefits. First, it tells us where the light source is coming from. So as we can see, it's to the right, so we see that our light source is coming from the left. It also tells us how close something is to us. It tells us certain details, makes it more 3D, and it also oh my god! It was pickles. So next we have motion parallax, which says that when something's farther away from us, especially like a car, for example, it makes it seem like it's slower. But when something's more up close, we see its actual relative speed and it becomes faster.
In the second example, we see that the plane is moving at a much slower speed than in reality. Another example of motion parallax.
Alright guys, thanks for coming on a walk with me to Waterloo Park. I hope you learned a lot about depth cues and how we subconsciously use them in our everyday life without you even knowing. Bye!